day everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And we're here at Bangkachao for a field survey. Area to study, we have to check that place where there's a lot of plants and animals, maybe insects or plants. So what we're going to do, we use a string, so we cordon off our area to an estimated area of 25 square meters. So that's what we're going to do now. We'll just cover the area. Okay, so I'll go on ahead and work on it. Just make an estimate. You'll need to take 3 times from the different areas within your area, 3 temperatures of the soil. Okay, and then get the average again by adding all those 3 temperatures, divide by 3. So while we're checking out the temperature of the soil and the water, we can also check out the temperature of the air by just leaving this thermometer into the air like this for 5 minutes, so we can see the temperature surrounding the area. To get soil sample, when we get soil sample, you have your gloves with you, make sure you wear it. And there's a lot of ants in here, so be careful. You must have at least 1 or 2 digging tools and a plastic bag where you put your soil sample. We want to get about 200 grams that we can bring at home. So within your area, you'll have to get soil from 5 different spots. So once we have our soil sample, what we're going to do is mix it like this. Once we have mixed it, we use our pH paper again. So get a strip of the pH paper. Right. If our soil is too dry, we can put a little bit of water. Okay? So pour water into the soil. Just a little bit to make it wet. And then with our chart in here and see what we have. Quite difficult to actually see it. If you look at that, it has turned to brown, but there's a little bit of color. There's a little bit of color at the top. So that's what we want to check with our chart. Alright. So we do that 3 times. And then the rest of the soil, about 200 grams, we bring it home. So we can check soil moisture, soil texture, and soil ingredients. So all of the data that we have gathered, like temperature, we write them all in here in our paper. We also have the soil pH and the color. So we are going to look at the mixed sample. Okay, the soil moisture and soil texture, including soil ingredients, will be all done in school. How do we find the population? We use the Quadrat. So this Quadrat is thrown 7 times at random in one area. And once this Quadrat lands on a specific place, we count the population. So you'll see it here that there's like little small squares that is within the big 1 square meter of Quadrat. So I'm going to throw it first time. Okay, so first what we need to look for would be what organisms, plants and animals are found within this 1 meter Quadrat. So you can see our Quadrat landed here. So now the next thing to do is count the organisms that are found in here. You'll need to identify the plant and animals that are found in here. So we have here several plants. So what kind of plant is that? Okay, also check out the ant. Count the number of ants within this 1 meter area. Okay, so just be careful, you'll be stepping on it. And then count how many plants we have. All right. Okay, so the Quadrat, when we use the Quadrat, we have to throw it 7 times. So I've thrown it once. I counted the species found within that 1 square meter of Quadrat. And then I throw it again until such time that I finish the 7 throws. So, here's random sampling using a Quadrat. We're going to get the population of the organisms found within the Quadrat. So N1 here means the first throw, N2 second throw, and so on. Let's start with the first throw. So let's say this is our first throw. So we count the number of organisms that are found in here. So if you look at it closely, we have this kind of plant. We get that one. This plant here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now, I don't know the names of these plants. So the best thing to do is take a picture and identify. So let's just call it plant 1. And aside from that, you can also put a description of the plant. It's patterned leaves. Okay, and then count on the first row. There are 3 of this patterned leaves plant. So that's what you're going to write. So you're not only going to count that, but you're also going to count other plants that are within this quadrat. So if we look at it, we have other plants found in here. This plant, that plant, and so on. Okay, so we count everything that is found within the quadrat. So on first row, if there are 3 different plants, we write 3 different plants and then the number of organisms in that. And we should not forget about animals or insects like ants, spider, if there are within the quadrat. So after we've done the first quadrat, we're going to do the next one. So we're going to throw 6 more times. So that's N2, throw number 3, number 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so and then later on I will teach you how to get population and dispersion. So while you're doing this, you be careful with red ants, they're so big. And in case I'll forget, please do bring a mosquito repellent because there's so many mosquitoes in here and you don't want to be bitten. I've got like how many bites now, so be careful before you come over here. Bring a mosquito repellent and a sunblock or a hat if you need to. Okay, so there's one more thing we need to do. We call it the line transect. So with the line transect, we need to have 10-meter string. Okay, so a 10-meter string, we can always start from, let's say, a tree, right? For example, this one. So I've already tied this into a tree and then I'm going to stretch it out all the way up to 10 meters. Okay, so for our line transect, it's a combination of a string and the quadrat. So we're going to put the quadrat on after the first meter. So let's say this is the first meter. I'm gonna lay down my quadrat here, like this one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is check out what organisms are found within the quadrat. So I'd like to check as well the height of the plant, how many plants, and the types of plants that are found in here. So we're looking at population, height of plant, and how many plants. Aside from that, we're also looking at different animals or insects. And then we will skip through the third, but we're going to lay our quadrat in the next 4th meter. So it's gonna go on 2 meters, 4 meters, 6 meters, 8 meters until we finish the 10-meter mark. Okay, so we do the same thing. We check out what plants and animals are found within the quadrat, including the height and the type of plants that are found in the quadrat. So again, be careful with that really huge ant, and they are inside my pants. Right. For transect 1, what are individuals found or organisms found in the 2-meter mark, 4 meters, 6 meters, 8 meters, and 10 meters. Okay. What we're going to do now is to collect water sample. So let's take a look around, and we see pond on this side and then pond on this side. So we're going to collect water so we can check the pH, we can check the color and the odor. Alright, so we're going to collect water using this dipper right here. So I made it into like this with a string so that I could collect water. So now we're going to get water from the pond. Ta-da! Careful, careful, and careful. Water sample. We can check the color. We can also check the pH. So, color. Take a look at it. Are there any suspended solids or tint like green, brown, or anything that you can see in this water? Next, with this water sample, we can check the pH. So, we take a strip of paper from our pH indicator, universal indicator paper. So let's just take one, okay, and then dip it into the water. All right, and right now, have it with me, that one right there, dip into the water. Okay, it takes about maybe 2-3 seconds. And then now, let's check what the color is. That's right there. Oh, where's my camera? Okay, there. And then check it against this. So whatever is the color, so color of about that one. Okay, so pH level of, oh no, it's about 5 and 7, 6 somewhere here. So 6. Now we're going to take the temperature of the water. So this is what I did with my thermometer. I attached the thermometer to a string so it would prevent from falling. We don't want losing our thermometer into the pond. Nobody's gonna get it, okay? So we're going to tie it here and then just dip this to this bulb right here is dipped into the water, and we check for thermometer for the temperature. Okay, we ready? Again, you need to be very careful when doing this. You might fall to the pond, and we don't really want to fish you out from the pond. So just dip this down to the pond, maybe to about 5-10 seconds. Dip it down, bulb down for 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds later, pull it up carefully, and then we get the temperature of the water, which is 32 degrees Celsius. All right, so we write this in our paper. Another way to check the quality of water is to use a Secchi disc. Secchi disc looks like this. It's got 4 quadrants, white and black. This one goes deep into the water. So we need to find a shady area, a shady part of the water. It could be on the bridge, somewhere near. Okay, so you can see in here, I've made different marks, like 6 inches, another 6 inches, another 6 inches. So when this goes down to the water, I will know up to which it went down. Right, before we start checking the water quality, it is best to know the general weather condition of the day. So you'll have to describe the land surrounding the water as well. So like this one, our water here is surrounded by pavement, bridge, and then there's a solar panel right there. And aside from that, we also need to describe the water. Is it stagnant? Or is it circulating? Is it flowing or standing still? So how would you describe this water? So while we're into describing the water, we should be looking at the corners as well. So we want to check if there's foam in the water. So there's a foam rating here in your paper so that you can take whether our river or our pond is poor or fair or good or best. So depending on the foam that you'd see on the corners of the so we can always find the space right here at the back towards the bird watching tower, and you see there are more plants and animals and insects found in this area, so it's a good place to survey. Now you just really need to be very careful. There's a lot of mosquitoes and big red ants. There are 2 or 3 of you in this group, so you need to help each other to gather the data. Don't start playing when you come here. It's better you start with the work right away, so when you finish, you can relax. But you are not allowed to ride the bike. Okay, so we're here to gather information. We're here to gather data and survey the environment. So, riding a bike is a no-no. Here's one tip when you come over to this area. Look for a place that you want to study. So cordon off about 25 square meters of an area. Then get on with the things that you need to gather. Like get a sample of the soil, okay? Sample of water, so you can test temperature, pH, color, and check out the foam, and also check out the description of the pond. Next one, check the temperature of the air. Okay, when you're done with that, go on ahead and measure the temperature of soil. Count the population of your area using a Quadrat and Line Transect. While we are in the area, I'd like you to be very observant as well, because there are some facts found on posters around the area. So like for example, this one, they talk about the bird tower that is nearby, and they've got like different types of birds that we can find in this area. While we are within the area, it's better if we check on the animals and the plants that are found in here, and then we will classify them according to the Linnaean system. So some of the trees in here have their names, like this one. So it's called a suicide tree. So the family, genus, and species are all found in here, but you'll need to find the kingdom, phylum, class, and order. Right, this area is really good as well. Look at that. Diverse plants and animals, and with trees on it as well. Good. Right, so one thing about doing this survey, environmental survey, is that when you come here, make sure that you will do it right away.